Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. I'm going to run down all the incentives that are already selling at a premium, some variants you should be keeping an eye out for, some stuff that I look forward to reading, and whatever other cool surprises you might be on the lookout for when you go to your shop on New Comic Book Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this show as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this channel as well as my other channel, my toy channel, Toy Informer, for anything outside of comics, all other collectibles, including toys, cards, and those weird things like sneakers, lunchboxes, etc. You get your fix there for all things collectible over on Toy Informer. So my recent shows, we got all the top 10 Harley action figures I did this past weekend, as well as some collectible popcorn buckets. As I said, weird stuff over there. So give it a look if you haven't tried it already. And if you haven't tried Whatnot already, now's your chance. New users, use my link below, and you get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You help the channel, and you get yourself something nice, so you really got nothing to lose there. And if you're in the market for, buying your supplies, use my link, go over to BCW, and the code RENA10, get yourself 10% off. Might as well save some money while you're buying your bags and boards, your boxes, top loaders, whatever it is. BCW's got you covered to keep your things nice and safe. So save yourself some money while you're over there shopping. And with that all said and all out of the way, you want to see this week's books, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, let's just jump right in with my personal picks. These are the things I am most looking forward to this week when it comes to New Comic Book Wednesday. Starting off with, finally, it is here. Finally, we're getting Moon Knight back again. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. It feels like forever ago when we got that teaser issue, that one-shot secret that was released to shops. It feels like it was forever ago now. But finally, the new series is starting. Mark Spector is back from the dead. We've gone through Blood Hunt. We've gone through all that stuff. So Mark Spector's back. Legacy number 241, a brand new, another number one. But I'm happy to see Moon Knight back and looking forward to reading this. So many covers here. We've got the regular cover A. We've got some other options here. We got B's and C's. We've got some foil editions as well as a plat. We got a Scotty Young, of course. And you like that plat cover? Well, it is also the 1 in 100 incentive, which is just the virgin version of it. And I also like the 1 in 25 quite a bit. I like the way that they made his cape with a hole in it also kind of look like Khonshu in the background with a red moon. I don't know. It's just well designed. I like it. I think it's a cool cover. So the 1 in 25 ain't bad. It's not doing anything as far as pre-sales go. Like, it's well under ratio if you want to go and purchase yourself one of the 1 in 25s. But let's take a quick look at the 1 in 100. It is the highest ratio incentive and usually the one that collectors spend their extra bucks on. And we'll see here that, yes, a few extra dollars are going its way. It is selling for above ratio with, yes, an early pre-sale back in September for just under at 95 bucks. But then we've seen 130 and 160 since then. Asking prices are still pretty close, a little above at 110, 120, 130, but still above ratio. We'll see where this kind of lands once Wednesday hits, but for now, it seems to at least be right around that ratio mark. Could go above, could go under if there's a lot of copies. We'll see as the week goes on. No surprise, I have Energon Universe stuff here. If there's an Energon Universe book coming out of Skybound, there's a good chance it's going to be in this first segment because it is one of my favorite things running right now. So, wrapping up Destro, we are going to be getting G.I. Joe very soon. So, Destro issue 5, final issue. Pretty cool cover A. I really like the cover B here as well. I like the reflections in his chrome dome. And then we've got the usual allotment of variants as well with the 1 in 10, the 1 in 25, that's pretty cool, featuring Chameleon, and the 1 in 50 as well, which ain't half bad. Now, the 1 in 10 is, as we know, a connecting cover. It goes with all the other 1 in 10s with the series. So let's see how it finishes up now that we've got all 5. There you go. A wide mural having both of the twins on there, Chameleon in the middle, and various characters that appear throughout this series. Kind of fun, right? But moving on, another book I snuck in here because I feel like people are going to start talking about it a little bit as the week goes on, and that's actually Miles Morales, number 25. Yes, it's an anniversary issue. It's Miles is getting a guest star. Black Panther is showing up, and he meets Deadpool, I think, in a backstory in this as well. So I can see people picking this book up to give it a try as far as Miles goes. But in addition to just these guest stars and it being an anniversary issue, he is getting a new suit, apparently. I'm happy to see the hoodie thing go, but I have got nothing against his regular costume. But a vibranium suit seems kind of interesting. So here we go, introducing the vibranium suit. It's kind of cool. Looks like an interesting design. Not opposed to it yet. Want to get a better look at it, as different artists gives their take on it. But I kind of like this design so far. It's got a little bit of a 2099 kind of vibe, but sticking with the Miles black and red, color scheme. I like it. We'll see if this gets any traction. There is this cover. There's also the cover A I showed you already, and then there's another, fighting cover here. But as far as the new suit goes, it's only on this B variant, I guess, and it's also on the 1 in 10 incentive. There's only a 1 in 10 incentive. It is a design of this vibranium suit. So yeah, if this takes off or becomes popular, these could be books that people look for. But right now, nothing doing. You can find it for right around $10. The 1 in 10 that is, and the regular cover right around cover price. So something to keep an eye on. Something I thought was kind of interesting, and I want to take a look at it. So that's why I put it in my picks for this week, because I want to check it out. I also want to check out my reading list. And my reading list for this week isn't long. There's not a ton here, but there are a few things that I got to keep up with, including Ultimate Spider-Man. 10 issues already. It feels like only yesterday we just got this new series. Marco was making fun of it, comparing Absolute Batman to it, but I don't think it's apples to apples. But here we are, issue 10, Ultimate Spider-Man. Couple of covers. Cover A, there is a cover B, and there is one incentive, 1 in 25. This is the normal kind of vibe I like. 2 covers and maybe a ratio. Granted, 10 issues in, we don't need to be doing this, but this is the kind of level of variance I like to see. Not too many. Don't overdo it. We don't need 10 different versions of a book. 3 is more than enough to me. But hey, what are you going to do? Like our next book, which I'll be also picking up to read, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 4, which, as you might guess, has more than 3 covers because, it's X-Men. We've got a cover A. We've got, hey, The Darkness Awaits Sarah Gaunt. I wonder if it's a Harry Potter related thing here. But I like the Gambit cover. The Nightcrawler ain't bad either. These are all cover price covers. There are other ones that I'm going to keep for other segments as we get later on in the show. But there are 2 incentives as well, including a 1 in 25, which I really like, and 1 in 50, which is a virgin version of that Nightcrawler book. But I really do like that Gambit. In fact, I put it in my top covers in one of my shorts that I do. I picked my 5 favorite covers of the week. This I put in there as one of my favorites because I don't know, I just like it. It's got a bit of a negative space thing going there with the with the pink on his suit, or purple fuchsia, whatever we want to call it, magenta. I don't know, the Gambit color. I like it. Also, we are getting the final part of Nightwing for Fallen Grayson. So Tom Taylor and Redondo are wrapping this up apparently with this final issue. So be sad that it's ending, but yeah, we'll see where we go from here. Issue 118, cover A. There are a few other options here as well at cover price. As you can see here, with a lot of Nightwing things, with a lot of sunsets. So sunsetting on this creative team, I guess. And there is a 1 in 25 as well, which, again, it's not doing anything. I saw a copy listed for $8 or $9. So well under ratio if you want to purchase one. So you can find it out there. On top of the reading list, there are those books that I still just got to do it. I just got to pick them up. I may be behind on reading or not loving what's going on, but OCD, habit, whatever it might be, I got to pick these up. Books falling into this category are the final issue of Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. Again, enjoyed the start of the series. I just fell behind on reading it. That's all. I enjoyed it. I just think I'm an issue or 2 behind at this point. So issue 5 coming out. I dig this cover a lot. I almost put it in my top 5 of the week. I just really like it. But I'm a little behind on reading. That's all. So I got to play catch up. We got 1 cover, and then we got a couple of incentives. We have Frank Miller giving us a 1 in 10, which, while it's not great, it's not the worst. So fair, right? It's something. It's something. So we've got a 1 in 10 color version, and then there's a 1 in 20 that is a black and white version that also swaps out the trade dress into I guess it's Japanese. But Pretty cool looking. I dig it. Now, this one could be interesting to keep an eye on because the 1 in 20, we've seen how these ratio incentives for this series have done. We had the the last issue, I believe, had the, what was it, submissive or something? I forget what it was called. But there was that cover. There was 1 in 15 that did pretty well. And this one could be the next one to follow it, the 1 in 20. We had one pre-sale for $40, and then I don't see any listed. So could be tough to find. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out come Wednesday. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. That's all. First issue was all right of this next series, so I got to do it. I'm going to get issue 2, Wolverine. I've never been a huge solo Wolverine reader. I always liked him better as part of a team, if that makes any sense. I mean, I like the occasional Wolverine story, but as far as ongoing goes, I usually just get bored after a while. And so far, we had one issue. Here we go. We got issue 2, Wendigo showing up. That's kind of interesting. 50 years of Wolverine after all. Not bad, cover A. And then we've got a couple other options here, including the reader one. And then we got a Scotty Young, which is actually kind of funny. I like the Scotty Youngs where they have like a scene playing out, and the conversation between these two about him having a new costume is kind of funny. So that one ain't bad. And then I really do like the 1 in 25. It's just, I don't know, something about it. I just kind of dig it. I like the motion. I like the vibe of it. I don't understand why the suit is kind of like melting. It almost looks like a symbiote, but it's still a cool look, so I just kind of like it. So I'll be picking up issue 2 just to do it. I'm going to read it, obviously, but it's not something that I'm like, it's going to the top of the pile. I can't wait. It's just, we'll see how it goes. Now, speaking of seeing how it goes, we have probably the largest segment of the week, every week, new number ones, because, man, they just keep pumping out new number ones. All publishers giving us new stuff. I didn't even list every new number one. Obviously, I had to start trimming it back because this segment is getting so long. There's a lot of stuff. I have no idea what the books are or what the point of them was for. So I'm not putting everything in here. Just things that felt mildly interesting or I thought some of you out there might find interesting. Starting off with Jupiter's Legacy, the finale. So I guess this is the finale for Mark Millar's series, Jupiter's Legacy. I never took to this one, this series. It just was one of those... it was okay. I just kind of got lost. I remember the very, very first issue. I just was like, we were jumping around with time, and I'm like, I just wasn't that interested. And since then, I never really picked up on it. Even when they made a show out of this, I still didn't really jump on board. But we're getting the final, I guess, chapter, miniseries, whatever you want to call it, starting here. So here you go, out of Dark Horse now that the Millarverse is over there. Couple of covers. We've got this one. I do like the one here in the middle. It's classic. Tedesco. Kind of dig it. And then we got a Scotty Young too. It's kind of fun. Little scene playing out. So, yeah, like I said, I always like the scenes playing out. And they're not babies. Always nice to see Scotty Young doing something where they're not actually babies. Always good. On top of that, Dark Horse is also giving us this Halloween special one-shot out of the Christopher Chaos series. So, the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos is giving us a Halloween special one-shot. Here we go. Tinian's doing a story. I think there's a couple other writers giving us stuff in here. 48 pages, $7, 2 covers. We've got this one, and we've got a B cover here as well. So if you like it, pick them up. Otherwise, skip it. I think that's Lemire on the second one. So, right? Isn't that Lemire doing a... Yeah, I think so. Anyway, moving on. We also got another horror-themed book coming out of Dark Horse. I mean, it is October, so we're going to see a lot more horror books coming out in the next few weeks. So here we go. The hit meta horror comedy by Kyle Starks returns in time for Halloween, Where Monsters Lie, Cul-de-sac. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not familiar with this series, but all right. New one-shot issue or something coming out. $4. Pick it up if you like it. 2 covers here, A and a B. And there you go. Pick the one you like. I kind of like the B. I like the colors there. I like the colors. And the eyes kind of just draw you in. They're kind of messed up. But outside of that, let's go over to DC now. And we're getting a new Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin, year 1. So we're going back to year 1 for this team up, I guess. This partnership pairing. And Mark Wade and Chris Samney are working on it. I like that team. I'm kind of curious to check this out and see how this thing goes. We've got a couple of covers, open order. We got cover A, there's cover B. Again, there's other covers we'll find here a little bit later, but we've got these options as well as this interesting homage, brought up two for the times. You got the two there in the spotlight. This time we got a little bit of graffiti on the background there. But it is Batman #9. Classic homage we've seen many, many times before. In fact, I think there's a store exclusive also doing this same thing on this same cover for this same book. So ideas are not always original, but still can be executed well. There is a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 on here as well. I almost put the 1 in 25 in the WTF section for Nutshot of the Week because, geez, just giving us that Robin Grundle, but it just seemed inappropriate, so I didn't bother doing it. But it's right there. I do like the classic blue and gray suit, though. I am kind of digging that. I don't know, it just brings me back to a much more simpler time. So I like the blue and gray. I don't know, I miss it. But with that, I don't really care for the 1 in 50 all that much. It just, I don't know what Robin's doing. Like, why is he screaming and reaching his hand out like Gamora at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, no, like what's going on? Batman's not really too concerned. He's just chilling back there. So it is what it is. Neither of these are doing anything above ratio, so you can find them well under if you are shopping for them. So we will move on to this glow-in-the-dark cover for Batman Full Moon #1. So we're getting a book 1, black label, Batman, werewolves. Cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be an interesting mini. So something you might want to read, think about picking up. Each issue of the series will boast a striking glow-in-the-dark main cover. So the cover A will have the glow-in-the-dark, $6. Not too bad. There are other options here as well. If you'd rather have one of these, you can go this route. We got Francavilla. And then there's a foil version here, also the one in the middle, and a 1 in 25 incentive as well. So once again, pick your poison, whichever one you like, grab that one and check this series out because it'll probably be pretty good. I mean, Batman and werewolves. I mean, can't really mess it up too much, can you? But with that said, moving on. We're going over to IDW for The Exorcism at 1600 pens. So I guess we're going to have some sort of haunted White House story here. Okay. October, we got the haunted everything, I guess. So why not the White House? 52 pages for $5. Decent page count for your price. So could be interesting. Multiple covers here. A, B, C, and there is even a 1 in 10 incentive here by Stephanie Hans as well. Creepy demon there under the desk, but cool. Could be cool. Who knows? If you don't like this, but you still want to scratch that horror itch, maybe grab the Ice Cream Man one shot because here we go. We got the Decompression and Erect Deluxe Special. Only Ice Cream Man can deliver. So there you go. $8. Perfect bound cardstock cover. Presented here. It's collecting Ice Cream Man issues 39 and 40. So I guess it is more of a reprint of a sort. But, something to check out again. If you want to scratch that horror itch, Ice Cream Man could be the way to go. Or you can go over to Marvel and check out Crypt of Shadows. And, they've been doing this the last couple of years, bringing back Crypt of Shadows as a one-shot every Halloween time, just to give us a one-shot kind of like anthology, cracking open the crypt as All Hallows Eve approaches, yada, yada, yada. We're going to get our horror characters galore with our Blades and Werewolf by Nights, etc., Scarlet Witch. So, cool. Man-Thing and everything. People we don't see for a while showing up here in this one shot. There are multiple covers here, but apparently I screwed up and did not add them, so we're not going to worry about them. These are the Blade books from last week, and we're going to keep moving because I don't feel like fixing it. So, sorry. Just to be honest, I still feel like doing it right now. So, we're just going to keep rolling. There's other covers there for you. So, if you want them, go check them out. Pick the one that you like. I don't think there's any incentives. It's just open order covers. So, we're going to move on and go to Mystique #1. So, another interesting #1. I almost put it in my pick section, but yeah, we'll leave it here. We'll leave it here as kind of like the figurehead of our new #1 section because this will probably be the one a lot of people gravitate towards. We're going, again, I'm a little biased as an X-Men fan, so a new X book is always going to pique my interest a little bit more than most. But Mystique, not loving the cover A all that much, but we're getting a new series here. See where this goes. We got a couple other options available with a Rose Besh, stupid logo. I do like the Wolverine kind of mashup there. We're going to see another version of that in a second. But first, we do have a virgin version of that Rose Besh, which is the 1 in 100. There's also a pretty sweet 1 in 50 and a 1 in 25 there as well. Now, out of all these, Everything's pretty much ratio or less, including the Rose Besh being pretty close. I mean, you can see the early pre-sales at about 90 bucks and then 120. Those are a few weeks ago. And then the asking prices, however, are a little bit steeper. So we'll see. The actual paid prices closer to ratio. The asking prices 150, 170, $250. That might be a bit it might be a bit of a reach, but we will see. We'll see what happens as the week goes on. And with that, that's not even the highest ratio either. So this 1 to 100 isn't even the top dog for this book, because there is, going back to that Wolverine book, we have an alternate version of it for the 1 in 200, which is Deadpool. I like how you can just swap the two out there, but Deadpool being on the 1 in 200. This one has no early pre-sales, but the asking prices are also pretty darn steep. The cheapest one being 250, which is still above ratio at 1 in 200. And then we've got a $400 9.8 pre-sale and a $480 copy listed. But no copy sold. So once again, we will see what happens. With these high ratio incentives, they could be very, very tricky, and not many of them move. But when they do, they generally run for big bucks. So we'll see. We'll see how high those numbers go, if this sells at all. All right, moving on. We're going to actually go over to Valiant. So Valiant doing their thing, this Resurgent, continuing on, Eternal Warrior. I used to like Eternal Warrior way back in the day. I'm not too thrilled with the current. I'm just kind of bored with the current Valiant universe just doing it again. I don't know. It just hasn't really grabbed me. But let me know if you guys are reading it, if it's any good. I just can't keep up with everything. It's just being fair, being honest. I only got so much free time, and this is just something that really just didn't seem like something that I would really want to read again. So it is what it is. But I still want to tell you about it, because I'm sure some of you out there are enjoying it. And if you are, again, tell me. Tell me if I should be reading this. But we got 3 covers here with trade dresses, and then 3 versions of them with limited trade dress. There you go. No incentives, but 6 versions. Unnecessary, once again, but it is what it is. Boom. Also giving us a new #1 in Vicarious. So, yep. It seems like Boom's always just rolling out with stuff, right? But here we go. Another Boom book coming out. We'll see. I don't know. I can't keep up with everything. I don't know if I'm going to give this one a try. $5. Dangerous encounter opportunity. I don't know. Even just reading the synopsis, I'm just not into it all that much. So we'll see. Maybe I'll give it a flip through, and if it looks interesting, I'll grab it. But otherwise, we got to cover A. We got to cover B here. And we also have an unlockable version as well as a 1 in 10 version. That unlockable, as Boom does, could be hit or miss. We've got 2 sales right around $15, and then we've got 1 listed asking to over 25. Who knows? Don't seem as as desired as the Hello Darkness 3 that we saw recently, but we'll see. We'll see if another Boom unlockable kind of grabs the market's attention again. But for right now, this one not yet, but has a chance. And then we have a 1 in 25 here as well. Okay. I don't know. It is what it is. As is Massive, giving us volume 2 of Liquid Kill. So Liquid Kill is coming back, and it's Ghost in the Shell meets John Wick kind of vibe thing. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't actually finish reading the first one. I did get most of the covers because they were kind of fun homages. And again, just keeping up with reading everything is kind of tough. I admit it when I can't read everything. And this was one I'm not up to date. So I do like this cover, though. I mean, if you like the butt shots, you got a decent one right there. You also get some other variants here, other homages. I know that's an anime, but I'm not 100% sure. I tried to figure out what anime that middle book is from. If you know, please tell me in the comments below. I was looking at every cover box and poster I could find for Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed. What else was I checking? Gunsmith Cats. I was checking a bunch of stuff, and I just couldn't nail down what this is an homage of, but they do say anime homage. So if you know what it is, please tell me in the comments. And then we got another option there. And then there is also a N64 Duke Nukem cover here. So boom. Kind of fun. It's kind of weird to do N64 covers because, their N64 boxes are wide and comics are tall. So it seems like an odd choice, but hey, let them go for it if they want to. With that, we're sticking with Massive for this other title they got coming out, Rockabilly Vampiro Apocalypse. All right, that's a whole lot of I don't know what to expect out of this, but it makes me kind of curious, especially when I see the covers. Like this cover here, kind of interesting. I'm getting like a From Dusk Till Dawn kind of vibe mixed in with I don't know, with a little bit of rockabilly. You can't go wrong with a little bit of rockabilly, but I don't know, maybe some luchadors factored in as well. We'll see. This is the cover A. There are other covers here as well with the B's and C's. That C also looks similar to something. It looks kind of like a Army to Darkness or something, but I couldn't place it. But they do have something I could place, which was the Korn Follow the Leader album cover. So they did do that. Obvious, as you can see it, but thought it was kind of cool. Then there's a pretty decent 1 in 10 that looks like a classic poster, like one of those Grindhouse movie posters. Once again, it could be an homage to something. I didn't bother double checking it. It looks familiar, but I mean, a lot of Grindhouse posters look like that. You got a car on there and you got a bunch of characters, things going on. I don't know. And then there's also a 1 in 25, which is probably my least favorite of all of them. I mean, it is what it is. The other one's got a kind of a cool, like little hook to them, but the 1 in 25 is just a limited trade dress cover. Okay. I don't know. But moving on, we're going over to Vault now, because Vault's going to bridge the gap between our next two segments. And those last two books also had plenty of homages, but we do have a bunch of homages for this title here. Not going to do them yet, but we have Godfather of Hell, #1. Cavan Scott giving us a new story. Kind of interested. Got some mob stuff. Hell, demons. All right. Kind of cool. Kind of interesting. There is this cover here, as well as 2 black-bagged over 18 warning books. So who knows what inappropriateness night might be under those covers, but they will be polybagged, and you can pick them up. There are 2. There's one by Corin Howell, and there's another by Nathan Gooden. So like the barbaric covers, probably some naughty bits in there. But I don't know what's under there yet. Haven't found any images spoiling them. So we'll have to see, come Wednesday, what's under there. But well, as I said, this cover does have this book has a lot of homage covers, which is going to lead us into our next segment, still covering that title. Starting off with this one, this Godfather of Hell. It's a Demon Slayer homage. This was another one I was looking at for that other anime one, but here it is for a manga version of Demon Slayer. Pretty cool, right? I mean, I like you even got the #1 there, all matching and everything. Jump Comics, cool. I kind of like it. Then we have a crap load of movie posters. And you also know I have a soft spot for movie posters, and they decided to pick a lot of my favorite movies to do posters of. But, I mean, it's The Godfather is in the title, so it's not surprising they chose some of these. But we're going to run through them. This is a cover price book right here, the Demon Slayer one, as is the Pulp Fiction version. Very well done. We've seen it before. It's not new. Many of these are not new. We've seen them before. We've seen them very recently, even the last few months. For very many different indie titles have been doing this because they get the audiences. They get my attention, and they get a lot of collectors' attentions when they put something in a familiar view. So you see Pulp Fiction, you get curious. You kind of want it to add to your Pulp Fiction homage collection, which I'm sure plenty of you have. But here we go. Pulp Fiction, open order. There's a 1 in 5 that's doing The Godfather. Even looks a little Michael Corleone-ish, but it's The Godfather that's actually, Brando. But still, pretty well done. I like it when everything matches up from the trade dress to the credits, etc. Very well done. We also got a Reservoir Dogs on 1 in 10. Also fun stuff. Again, not new. We've seen it before, but I always appreciate it when it's done well. So here we go. We also got a 1 in 15. Overdone Scarface, but yes, we had to do Scarface as well. Once again, trade dresses matching is pretty good. Scarface on the 1 in 15. Interesting, they chose to go with Boondock Saints here for the 1 in 25. Yeah. I mean, it matches. I mean, they could have done a little bit better with the trade dress. Could have put the Of Hell underneath like it does there, but it's close enough. I mean, maybe this isn't the final image. Maybe there's a little bit more to it when the book hits the shelves, because this does look a little empty, the comic cover. So we'll see. Maybe there's a little extra that make it look more like the poster. But if not, still 1 in 25 is not the highest. We still have one more to go, and that's a Goodfellas here on the 1 in 50. So Goodfellas, again, I like it. It's done well. It's got all the bits and pieces that you want matching up. So that's what it is. And then outside of Godfather of Hell, I have one more book in this homage section, and that is the Multiverse Collision, whatever, this the DC book. So we got an Action Comics 1 homage with Superman about to throw the Mystery Machine with Steven Universe up front. You got Bugs Bunny popping up in there too. Tom and Jerry in the mix as well. Cool. And we got a Harley running away down there. It's wild. Moving on, later printings. We do have a crap load of later printings this week, and Marvel is bestowing on us a number of incentives as well, as they tend to do. It's been a while, but they're back with a vengeance. But we're not going to start with Marvel. We're going to start with DC, and we have the next Crisis. So Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 7, facsimile, sketch cover, regular cover, and a foil cover if you want a shiny foil version. Cool. Other facsimile this week, we have Amazing Spider-Man, giving us that first year of the black suit Spider-Man, even though, look, he's not wearing it anymore. Whatever. Thanks, Marvel. 261. So ASM 261, facsimile, not too bad. You can find these, though. I don't know why you need a facsimile of it. But it's an excuse for them to do a new cover on a 1 in 25, I guess. Not bad. It's a decent cover, but it's just something I don't get, and I don't think we need. I don't understand why there's a different cover on a facsimile incentive. It's no longer a facsimile, then, is it? It's just a reprint. Fine. Copies selling, obviously, as they do. 35, 60 bucks. That's not too bad. Asking prices are pretty high, $80 to $90. Okay. If you want to spend that, go for it. I am not, but it is what it is. Cowl, 1964, issue 2. I feel like this book has got a second print in here every week. But there's only 2 issues in, so I don't know how that's possible. But issue 2, second printing. Cool. Grommets, I know that we've had a crap load of Grommets. Grommets is trying to outdo the Energon stuff. Like, it's rolling. Look, it's a 5th printing for number 1. Can't recommend it enough. Give it a read if you haven't gotten it before. But they are kind of wearing me down on all the covers. Unnecessary at this point, but pretty cool deck. Pretty cool cover. And there is also a second print here for issue 4. So if you missed out on that, you got the Tony Hawk board down there too. That's pretty cool. I like them, but I can't get all these covers. Can't keep rebuying the same book over and over again just to get a different cover. It's just not cost effective, and my wallet and my budget don't allow for too many of those expenses. So gotta let some of these go. But if you really like Power Fantasy and you missed out, or you just really like collecting them all, Power Fantasy issue 2 has a second printing. They also have a second printing that's got shiny foil on it if you want a 1 in 10 of it. I guess Image is just trying to do what Marvel's doing. Incentives on later printings. Great. Great, I guess. That's not the only one. The Moon is Following Us. Number 1, I dig this cover on the second printing. And I don't know if there's going to be any foil, but the trade dress is different here on the 1 in 10 for some reason. I'm assuming there may be some foil, but it didn't actually explicitly say it. But we'll see. There is a 1 in 10 on this second printing as well. Didn't notice anything as far as pre-sales go because it's just not one of those things that I think has been marketed really well to know that Image is doing this. So these could be sneaky books to keep an eye on. So keep an eye on these second printing incentives when you go to your shop, because who knows, even your shop owner might not even know that they got them on the shelf and they just put them out there with the regulars. Void Rivals has got a bunch of other seconds coming here. Issue 8 with a second print, and issue 9 with the second print, and not to be outdone, issue 10, which, well, yeah, issue 10 with another second printing. What was it? We had a 10th printing that had 10 different covers on issue 1. Telling you, so many reprints, so many later printings on these books. So hard to keep track of. But if you missed out, now's your chance. There's your opportunity. And here we go. Here are the Marvel books. Aliens vs. Avengers 1. Not bad. Do we need the 1 in 25? I don't know, but we got one. It is a virgin cover of that popular cover. Like, this was one that a lot of folks were gravitating towards back when this book came out, because this book actually got a little hot, the first one. So a second print makes sense. A second print incentive on this isn't the worst idea in the world. I just don't like the idea of incentivizing any of them. Just make the second print so people can get a copy of the book if they missed out and they don't want to pay those premium prices. This is building in a premium price book inside that. So I don't know. That said, not a lot of sales yet, but we have a couple early sales. One for 90 bucks, and then one it lists at 160, but I'm sure they didn't pay 160. There had to be a best offer involved. I just didn't bother digging in to see what that offer was, but the listed sale shows is 170 actually. And then listed copies, well, there's another 170 out there, last one, and then there's a $180 9.8 pre-sale. Also getting tired of seeing all these 9.8 pre-sales because it's messing up like the market and messing up my searches. Like I don't want your 9.8 pre-sales because the book itself's already pre-sale. You got to wait another month for this for the CGC process to go out. Plus, you really think you can get your CGC books back really quickly with the hurricanes and everything going on right now? Just be patient. Anyway, we're not done. The Ultimates, number 4, which did not deliver on that promise of explaining to us the Robert Downey Jr. involvement as Dr. Doom. If you ask me, it wasn't explained. But, hey, the book sold. It sold so much, we've got a second print. So here we go. There's issue 4, and then there is a 1 in 25 incentive for it as well. Cool. Early pre-sales on this one, about $50, and then look at those, one of those 9.8 pre-sales. Whatever. And then the only one listed is another 9.8 pre-sale, looking for 130. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. Okay, they're there. Moving on. X-Men number 1, the third printing. All right, so got a second printing, and I believe that one had an incentive. So why not give us a third printing? And hey, guess what? Yep, we're doing a 1 in 25 on the third printing as well. Black and white. I'm not a big fan when they just make the cover black and white, but it is what it is. And some folks are buying it $75. Those early pre-sales. There's one listed for 60. We'll see how it shakes out. I didn't love this storyline as of yet. I'm just not in love with Stegman's art. I don't know. I don't know. He's just not doing well on the X-Men, in my opinion. It's just not my flavor for the X-Men. It's just I don't know. He did fine with the Venom stuff. It's just right now with the X-Men, there's so many characters. I don't know if that's like the problem, but some characters are not being as easily identifiable. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But there we go. Third printing, 1 in 25. Moving on. Let's keep it rolling. We've got our little subset variants to get through. Always enjoy doing these. Doom variants for the month. Most of these have been really solid. And this week is no exception. So we got the Miles book, which I think I mentioned there'll be more covers. A few of these books we've probably already talked about. But Miles 25, pretty fun seeing the reflection in the Doom mask. Kind of like it. The X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 4, we're also, Doom's choking everybody, apparently. So he's choking Wolverine here in this one. So we got that. And he's also holding on to Rogue. Pretty cool. And then we also have Wolverine number 2. We just have the skeleton of Wolverine there. So, yeah, don't mess with Doom. Don't mess with Doom. And in the long-lost wrap-ups of prior months' variant sets, let's get to these. I think I mentioned it forever ago, but Godzilla. Yes, you remember the Godzilla variants of September? Well, here we are. It's midway through October. We're getting one more of those Godzilla books. This time, it's on Wolverine number 2. So Wolverine number 2's got both the Godzilla and the Doom variant. Okay. They got to stop with this overlap, guys. Plan this shit out better. But Wolverine number 2, it's a cool cover. It kind of harkens back to, the X-Men Days of Future Past. You got just the skeleton of Wolverine, but it's Godzilla burning him up this time instead of a Sentinel. Kind of fun. Kind of like it. But it still seems way late to me. I know it was scheduled that way. It's not a surprise, but it shouldn't have been. Should have been handled better, I think. But it is what it is. Also, where's this one been? The artist spotlight of Nicholas Scott last month in the DC side of things. They're usually tighter on keeping their things together. For whatever reason, when I was doing Nightwing, this one came rolling in. Maybe Nightwing was just delayed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Nightwing was delayed a month, so this should have come out last month, but it got delayed a few weeks. That's got to be the case. But here we go. All the different Nightwing suits and Dick Grayson Robin suits. Pretty cool. If you like those or are collecting those. We got a few more of the all-in, those white covers, the foil covers or whatever. So here we go. This week, I decided to give you the regular covers so I knew what they were. Because last time I was running through them, I was like, it's Superman. I'm not sure what the title is because there's not listed. It doesn't say it. Here we go. So yeah, I could guess and say Catwoman, but I don't know what issue because there's nothing there as far as trade dress or numbering goes on that picture. So it is Catwoman number 69, which we will be getting back to a little bit later. We're also getting Green Lantern. Green Lantern number 16. See, I wouldn't even known the issue if I didn't have the regular one on its side. I would have been lost on what Cyborg book this was, but it's actually Titans number 16. So Titan 16 has a Cyborg cover, all shiny foil. Again, if you're looking for it. And then Wonder Woman would have been easy. Wonder Woman on Wonder Woman 14. Cool. All right, moving on. We also are getting a couple of more of the DC Trick or Treat covers. So those Kelly Jones covers, Trick or Treat style. I kind of like Chrissy Zullo's last year a little bit better than the Kelly Jones ones this year, but yeah, fair enough. It's just personal preference. But Titan 16 has this one. They're all there. We got a bunch of pumpkins. They're in a boat. I don't know if they're going to Hogwarts or what's going on here, but and then we got a Wonder Woman one here on Wonder Woman 14 where she's on a rope swing again with some jack-o'-lanterns. Fits the time of year. Yeah, I like the pumpkin cutout for the image. That's always nice. But pumpkins, pies, well, Wonder Woman. Let's get into the cheesecake covers. And with that, I probably should have shifted over to Wonder Woman to start it off, but I'm not. I'm going to go back to that Catwoman book, and we're going to start off there. So I dig this cover, eh? Yes, the Nakayama run on the Catwoman covers is over. We're getting a new creative team. Is it Torin Gronbeck? I don't know if I'm saying the name right at all, but new creative team. So new cover artists going to be rolling through. Well, not all new, but the main cover artist. So here we go. Number 69. Even the trade dress is different. Cool. And then we're getting a Frank Cho. Can't go wrong with a Frank Cho. I love his pencil style, like the ballpoint style that he does. It's just fascinating to me. And then, cool anime. Got a bit of anime too here for our Catwoman. And we have incentives as well, including I guess a version of the 1 in 50. Did you see the difference? Did you actually notice a difference? Because it's very subtle. But there's also 1 in 25. Kind of cool. But just for fun, we're going to go back. Watch the book in the middle. Ooh. Trade dress. 1 in 50. Ooh. Little bit less trade dress. Like, could have done something. Could have done something different here. Instead of a white background, make it a black background. I don't know. Just do something different. Just saying. Make it purple. I don't know. Or this pink. Anyway. But still, it's a Frank Cho. It's a 1 in 50. You're going to have collectors interested. And so far, early pre-sales, right around that ratio, 1 in 50 mark. We got a $47 sale. We got a $58 sale. There's one listed looking for $90. So we will see how this shakes out come Wednesday. Just worth watching. That's why I do this. It's the watch list. Not saying this is going to go for a premium or it's going to go up. It just might. So let's see what happens. And like I said, I probably should have started off and connected the Wonder Woman to the Wonder Woman, but we did sneak in a Nakayama here, and it is a Wonder Woman, and I dig it. I don't know. I even put it in, I believe, my top 5 of the week. I like Nakayama. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Big fan, and I like this cover. That said, we're getting a Vampirilla. Here you go. Yeah, even with the creepy musculature of the bat wings growing out of her back, you still get that side boob action. So, yeah, here it is. Cheesecake, I guess. Creepy cheesecake, but cheesecake nonetheless. And then we got a bunch of others. We've got, I think there's a Codius in here. We got a photo cover, and hey, it is what it is. It's Vampirilla. I mean, there's not much else to say. There's even a 1 in 7, which is different than these covers. So I included the 1 in 7 incentive, and yeah, you get that rear action if you're interested. And again, all of these Dynamite books and these Vampirella books have multiple versions of all of these covers for various incentive ratios of 12s and 15s and 20s and 30s, and they're virgin and Copic and mostly black and white, whatever. A lot of different versions. I just don't show you them all. I just show you the individual art covers. Like, this is the style, and we're going to have multiple versions of this and multiple versions of that, the other, and etc. We only have one for the Witchblade. The regular cover just didn't really have much going on for it, but this one kind of did, though eyes are a little bit wonky. I will admit. The eyes are a little bit wonky here, but I still felt it fit the segment. So Witchblade 4 snuck in here. Oh, this was last week. We should skip this. Skip the Lady Mechanica. That was last week. Just didn't delete that, but we do have Grim Fairy Tales here. So Grim Fairy Tales, actually with trade dress. So I didn't have to add the title down below. I actually got the trade dress this time. So Grim Fairy Tales, the 2024 Halloween special. Cinderella there on the cover. We've got a couple other options here as well. We got a Royal and a couple others there. So cool. If you like them, grab the one that you like. Don't know what's in the guts of this book, but it is a special, a monster mash of some sort. Covers are cool, though. Going over to the hard case, Minky Woodcock, The Girl Called Cthulhu. This Selena cover is awesome. I dig it. You got a little bit of hentai action there with the tentacles coming out of the background. We also have some more hentai if you're interested in it. But, I mean, it is Cthulhu, so you're going to get that. But, yeah, boom. Boom. Couple of covers, including a sketch version of the Selena there in the middle. So you can get yourself that. And there's a photo cover as well. Not too bad, right? I don't know. Seems kind of interesting. But I do like seeing the pencils on the Selena work because it does give you a good sense of the talent, the talent she has. But cool cover. Randomly thrown in here, Jungle Comics 29. Just a good cover. Fits the segment, fixed the section. So cool. Antarctic Press. And then we have all the Penthouse books. Yeah, I know. At this point, it feels like it's kind of a cheat, but they are comics per se. But here we go. Issue 5 we're at now. We've got cover A's, and we've got B's and C's and cat ladies and bird ladies. We've got covered up bagged editions. We've got photo covers, and we've even got 1 in 10 incentives if you're interested. I can't show you all the covers. Okay, got to keep this. It's not suitable for work. As you can see here, they cover it up. If you want it, buy it, see what's underneath, or you can just go look on the internet and get your jollies that way if you like. But that's the cheesecake section for this week, and we will wrap it up here with the incentives. Feels like a light week this week, right? Just, I don't know, as I was going through it, there was like no big standout books. It's like last week we had Batman, and there was a couple of things exciting. This week's a little less. I mean, I'm excited for Moon Knight, etc., but maybe not everyone. Even the incentives here. These are just a couple of leftover incentives. I just looked at the covers, and I was like, I kind of dig them. So I decided to throw them in. Starting off with this, the Trinity here on World's Finest. It's not going for anything. You can find this for like $10 to 1 in 25, but I just thought it was a pretty cool cover. Same with Green Lantern. Green Lantern 16. I just dig the cover. It's a Lyrics Lee doing Green Lantern, so it's not a sexy cover, sexy girl cover, I should say. But 1 in 25, also $10 to $15. You can get one if you really want it. And I'm gonna have to check out the Green Lantern now because reading that special last week, it's got me kind of curious of where this crossover is gonna go. So now I'm on board to try to keep up with Green Lantern. I'll see if I can. But outside of that, the other thing I wanted to throw in here was the Spider-Man Reign 2, issue 4. Feel like a lot of people are sleeping on this story, and it's going to be forgotten about, and then a lot of people are going to go back to it. Even myself, I've kind of put this in the back burner and haven't been paying attention to it. And I enjoyed the first one. The first Reign, Carrie Andrews, was great. I just didn't know if I needed another one, but so maybe that's why I'm just not in a rush to read these. So I have not kept up. I gave the first issue a look-see to give it a try, but I've not kept up. And here we are at issue 4. But in addition, I think that's also the case for a lot of people. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of these 1 in 100s available on this issue 4. So just something to keep an eye on. It is pretty cool art. It's got that classic McFarlane vibe from way, way back and back in the 90s. 1 in 100. I've seen no pre-sales nor any listed for this book as of yet. I'm doing this Sunday night. So we'll see come Wednesday if any of these get listed and sold and if they do, what they go for. But with all that said, that's all I got for you this week. That's my rundown. That's everything that I thought was interesting to cover for this week. And just like normal, I'd like to thank you for all the support you've given to the channel. Continue to check out all the shows here. I'm trying to get back on track. I may have a Chasing Ghosts and a Dollarman Digging again this week, or I'll have one or the other. And we'll still have the tax show on Wednesday. We'll have the Hot 10 still on Friday. The SNS Boys on Saturday. Sunday, Dark Side. And then, yeah, go check out my toy channel too, because I still have stuff planned for there as well. Top 10 toys next weekend might be Venom, if I could get it done. And if I can squeeze it in, I might do another card show looking at the Marvel 1991 Impel series version, the second wave of that card set. Might try to do that this week or do something else weird or quirky. I mean, last week the popcorn thing started to do well, so there's a few people interested in the popcorn bucket idea. If you haven't seen it, go check it out and check out that channel. Check out all the other links I have down below. And again, you support the channel and get yourself things a little bit cheaper. So with that all said, thank you, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.